Welcome back to another beneficial episode of Whining About Pest Control. If you're new here, I am Shell Hartzer of 360 Pest Consulting, and today we're talking about an arthropod that often gets a little bit of a bad rap. It's kind of big, and it's got a sort of scary name. We're talking about wolf spiders today. And I've got a free-range Chardonnay today because some people take way too much free reign in the myths and misconceptions they have about wolf spiders, so cheers. Nice bit of oakiness to that. All right, wolf spiders belong to the family Lycosidae. I usually don't go into scientific names, but this is kind of cool because Lycosidae is derived from the Greek word lycosa, meaning wolf. Makes sense. They're robust, they're hairy, they can range from about half an inch to maybe a couple inches if it's a nice, healthy female, and they can run pretty fast. They're often brown, gray, black. They have some kind of stripes, chevrons, markings to them because it's camouflage. This helps them blend into the ground in the many different habitats that they're in. And we do have about 240 different species of wolf spider in the US, one of the largest families of spiders we have. Let's get this out of the way now. Wolf spiders are venomous, not poison. Poison is ingested, venom is injected. Wolf spiders are just like just about every spider out there. They have venom. It's used to capture their prey. Is not medically important to humans. Okay? Done. Now, the wolf in their name isn't just for show. Unlike orb weavers or cobweb spiders, which sit in their web and wait for dinner to fly into their trap, the wolf spider is a ground hunter. They possess incredible speed and excellent eyesight. Those 8 eyes are in a very specific pattern for wolf spiders, and they use those 2 large ones right in the middle to spot, to stalk, to run down their prey. And this means you don't find wolf spiders building those big, complicated webs. They are ground dwellers. They're hiding under leaves, stones, wood piles, sometimes even living in shallow burrows. They use their silk for 2 different things. A safety drag line, so they kind of walk out, run out, and if something scares them, they right back up that line. And more importantly, for their unique parenting duties. When a female lays her eggs, she's going to wrap it tightly in this large ball of silk, creating this spherical egg sac. She attaches the sac to her spinnerets and carries it everywhere she goes. Now, if you can get this separated, she's actually going to search for it and reattach it if she can find it. Pretty cool. Once those spiderlings hatch, they climb onto her back and she carries dozens, sometimes even hundreds of these tiny baby spiderlings until they're large enough to fend for themselves, maybe 2-3 molts. This can be pretty frightening if you're not expecting this big spider and all these little spiders that came with her. This is Whining About Control, so let's talk about that control aspect. When it comes to control, wolf spiders, like many of our spiders, are pretty beneficial. They often don't need any type of control. They're going to feed on common household pests like roaches, crickets, maybe some other spiders. If you see one indoors, it's almost always an accidental invader. It usually maybe a male that's wandering around in the summer looking for a mate, or towards this time of year, a spider seeking shelter from the cooler temperatures. As I mentioned, this time of year, autumn, these spiders have had all year to grow up big, so they are just physically large. That makes them more noticeable to people. The weather is also turning cooler, like we mentioned, so many individual wolf spiders are looking just for a nice warm place to spend the winter. Exclusion really is our best control method here, keeping them on the outside where they belong. No problem then, right? However, we do know that not every little crack and crevice can get sealed around a structure, and we know some folks may be a little slow with getting repairs done sometimes. So, as a control method, we can use targeted treatments of dust and liquids. The key to remember here is that these are ground-dwelling spiders. Treatments should be targeted at the ground level, the ground floor, like the bottom of doors. There's no reason to treat those upper floors, the eaves, the chimney, none of that crazy stuff. The spiders won't be coming from that way, so it's going to be a waste of time and money. Now, the good news is that this time of year, the females typically aren't carrying any egg sacs or babies, so if folks are comfortable, you can kind of scoop them up, put that cup underneath, slide that piece of paper in, take them back outside where they can continue to do their job of pest control. That's where they're supposed to be. Now, if you're having some issues with spiders, contact me. I can make your programs a whole lot less scary and a whole lot more effective. And until then, hit all the buttons down below, except for that thumbs down. Don't hit that one. Share with all your friends, and until our next episode of Whining About Pest Control, cheers to our beneficial wolf spiders.